there, how are you? Let's talk about microservice, and for that I'm using my microprofile t-shirt. This is the first t-shirt that was made for microprofile. If you don't know what the hell is microprofile, I will record another video to talk about it. So, when I go to some conference, some events, and sometimes I give talks about microservice. It's common that people reach me in the end of the conference, of the talk, and ask, how can I move my monolith to microservice? How can I break down my monolith to microservice? How can I split my big monolith into small microservice? And usually I return a question and ask, why do you want to move from monolith to microservice? And it is usual that the answer is because I need to scale up or scale down my application whatever I want, because my monolith is too big and I need to break it down in small artifacts so they are smaller, they are lighter than my huge and weight monolith, and something like that. And usually this is the wrong reasons why you should be considering to move from monolith to microservice. And the reason why microservice is not to scale software. Microservice is to scale people. Microservice is a consequence of the way that the people in your organization are organized. Okay, so, and that's because there is a law that is called the Conway's Law. Conway's Law was created by a computer scientist called Melvin Conway, where he did an experiment back in the 70s, maybe. He had two projects that he needs to deliver. One project is to create a COBOL compiler, and another project is to create an Algo compiler. Okay, so for one project he had 5 people working in the project, and to the other compiler he had 3 people working in the project. And the outcome of that 2 projects was, the compiler with 5 people working had 5 phases of the compiling. And the compiler that had 3 people working had 3 phases. And always think about, wow, the way that I built my team was exactly the way that the team delivered it. This project, and he repeated this experiment time to time, and the result was always the same. The way that the people was organized was the same way that the people delivered the software. That's why in your organization, for example, when you have people in silos doing one silo doing front end and the other team doing database, and the other team doing middleware, and the other team doing web service, the only output possible for that teams is database for database team, and middleware for middleware team, and so on. Okay, that's why when you start to building smaller teams, and the teams has cross-functional. They have a lot of different roles inside the team. So you have one database expert, one middleware expert, one web service expert, and so on, one front-end expert inside the same team. The only outcome possible for that team, it's an artifact, a software that has all those stuff inside the same artifact. That's why we have microservices. So usually I answer back to these people, oh, if you need to scale your people, if you need to scale your teams, so that's why you have microservice. It's a natural way of having microservice. Because, think about, if you have just one person Okay, you are a single developer working in a small startup, for example, is just starting building from scratch. That's no reason to have multiple artifacts because that's one person, sorry, doing database, front end, endpoints, and so on. Everything is done by just one person. Okay, but yes, you can build your monolith ready to be broken down on microservice in another moments by using some uh, good practice, but some best practice building software. And two of them that is very important in this matter is loosey coupling and high cohesion. Okay, so you need to build your interfaces in your system. If you are building your some monolith, you need to build the interfaces inside this monolith in a loosey coupling in high cohesion way, because in that way you have parts of your system that have a lot of specialization and that those interfaces are not coupled to each other. So in that way, when you need to scale your teams, okay, so now you have teams that are responsible for different parts inside the system. Now those teams it's easier to take these parts of inside the system and to then have your microservice. Okay, so it is a very basic, very starting concept related to microservice, and next time we talk more about it. Okay, so see you. Bye bye.